Welcome to the second lesson of the Blood Sugar Basics course. As we learned in the first lesson, blood glucose needs to be kept in a relatively narrow range for good health. Let's talk about what that range is. In your entire circulatory system, which means your heart, arteries, veins, all the parts that move blood around, the total amount of blood glucose at any given moment is about 1 teaspoon. This is a tiny amount, especially when you consider that the average American consumes about 34 teaspoons of sugar per day. This is all forms of sugar, not just glucose. But when doctors want to know blood glucose levels, they don't measure it in teaspoons. What they do is take a sample of blood and measure the concentration of glucose in that sample. All labs do this the same way and report the results as a number. When you eat, your blood glucose goes up. Then certain chemical messengers called hormones act to bring it down, which includes putting some of it into the fuel tank we talked about in Lesson 1. In between meals, when you're not eating, blood glucose drops, and other hormones act to bring glucose out of the fuel tank and into the blood. Think of a seesaw with a child at both ends, and you'll have the idea. The seesaw is in constant motion, and there's a balance to it. The word dynamic means constantly changing, and the back and forth action is called dynamic balance. Like the seesaw, your blood sugar levels go up and down. Normal blood sugar levels are generally between 70 and 140. When a lab measures your blood glucose, it's after you haven't eaten for a number of hours, like overnight. That's called the fasting level. That's a good number to know, but it doesn't give a full picture of the dynamic balance. You'll learn more about this in future lessons. So, eating food puts glucose into your blood, and when the cells in your body need energy, they take glucose out of the blood. While all this is happening, the body somehow keeps blood sugar in its normal range. For example, if you drink a soda, which has many teaspoons of sugar, the body rapidly responds to the resulting sudden increase in blood sugar by acting to bring it down into healthy range. When the system is in good shape, the level comes down rapidly. When the system isn't in good shape, the blood glucose level can go high and stay high for some time. The hormone that tells the body what to do with energy from food is called insulin. When glucose levels go up, insulin levels also go up to tell your body to use the glucose immediately for energy or to store the glucose for later use. For example, muscle cells respond to insulin by taking in more glucose from the blood. As muscle cells take in the glucose, blood glucose levels drop. So, blood glucose goes up, insulin goes up. Muscle cells take glucose out of the blood glucose goes down, and then insulin goes down. The hormone that gets glucose out of storage into the blood is called glucagon. Your glucagon levels go up when you haven't eaten. Even if you don't eat for days, glucagon will try to ensure blood glucose doesn't drop too low. Insulin and glucagon are the two ends of the teeter-totter, alternately increasing and decreasing to keep your blood sugar dynamically balanced. But they're not the only things that affect your blood sugar level. The amount and speed at which blood sugar goes up also depends on how much and what you eat. Fasting and exercise tend to bring blood sugar down, but again, it depends on how long and how much. So, there are lots of factors at play, but as long as the body's hormones are working properly, and you put enough of the right kinds of fuel into your body over the long run, dynamic balance is maintained to keep things running smoothly. In the next lesson, we'll talk about how you can tell whether your body is operating in a normal dynamic balance. If it isn't, there are things you can do to improve it.